Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel where technology meets tomorrow. In part 1, we were discussing the amazing future technological advances that will shape the next decade. So, without further ado, let's continue. 5. A billion drones. A future with drones in it is probably closer than one imagines. The biggest obstacle in the way of a society that routinely uses these aerial unmanned vehicles is more likely to be regulatory than technological. Governments will have to come up with rules to ensure safety before drones can become commonplace. The potential is already being demonstrated by scores of experiments around the world, from Amazon working on deliveries with drones to a small startup, Which One? In Bengaluru working on drones that will make medicine delivery runs in remote, hilly areas of Papua New Guinea. When it comes to drones, we shouldn't limit our thinking to their flying capabilities. Instead, the same drone that can fly may also be able to roll along the ground, jump onto a building, climb a tree, stick to a piece of glass, float on water, or swim in it. American futurist Thomas Frey wrote on his website. Frey has predicted that as early as 2030, there will be 1 billion drones around the world. He has listed a large number of applications of drones, ranging from monitoring forests to policing our cities. I envisage that the advantages of drone technology will be well established within the decade, not only for business purposes, but also for helping to protect our society. 6. Printing cities and coral reefs. 3D printing is the process of building an object layer by layer, using a three-dimensional digital model that is fed into a machine that can accordingly lay out the layers using raw materials such as plastic and metals. Advances in technology, technically called additive manufacturing, have allowed for printing everything from pots that could put together a house, to customized food, to small pots of coral reefs. As the oceans become warmer due to climate change, the corals eject colored algae and turn white before eventually dying. These bleaching events are seen in coral reefs around the world. 3D printed fake corals may be a new, better way to restore the reefs. Scientists are 3D printing fake reefs that mimic the texture and architectural structure of natural reefs in ways that haven't been achieved in prior restoration efforts, according to the report. Such reefs have been installed in the oceans in the Mediterranean, the Caribbean, the Persian Gulf, and Australia. Scientists are waiting and watching to see if these fake reefs succeed in the coming years in luring not only fish, but also baby coral polyps, which attach themselves to structures and multiply to grow into new reefs. Dubai has a vision that envisages 25% of all buildings built in the Emirate in 2030 will be 3D printed. By 2025, the global market for 3D printing is estimated to be at $300 billion. 7. Missions to Mars. By 2030, a crewed mission to Mars could be a possibility if one or more of the plans by government space agencies and private companies work out. The Red Planet has been the subject of human imagination for centuries. Hollywood films have been made about humans on it. Real-life journeys to Mars are estimated to take over a year in some cases, or at least 245 days, based on one particular scientific calculation, which calls for the availability of much higher energy than the other trips. Scientists have calculated that there are windows of opportunity every 26 months when the relative position of Earth and Mars is such that one can find the optimal trade-offs between the energy needed to transfer a spacecraft from our planet's orbit to that of Mars and the time required to do so. NASA has put forward a plan to put a manned craft on Mars in 2030. Other nations are also planning various Mars missions. The first future programs are likely to include, on the smaller scale, flyby missions followed by missions to land a small team of scientists who might stay anywhere between a few weeks and a year on the planet. Eventually, many experts believe it will be possible to colonize Mars with people, making the journey to permanently stay there. While practical hurdles like funding alone are daunting, there are problems that aren't under human control. For instance, unexpected solar storms could raise the radiation on Mars to lethal levels. And there aren't guarantees that various equipment, computers, and life support systems will function properly. Even a safe landing isn't guaranteed, although scientists have made strides in identifying promising sites using the various unmanned rover landing missions thus far. 8. Education. Creative learning. Education for all by 2030 is one of the United Nations Sustainability and Development Goals. That is one facet of the challenge of educating future generations. Another problem comes from the exponential rate at which technology is advancing to make it possible to automate an increasing number of jobs. Human jobs that involve creativity and abstract thinking and finding and solving problems by designing creative solutions will be secure. This calls for an overhaul of the education system, as the traditional system of teaching, with emphasis on rote learning, will be useless. From an infrastructure point of view, advances in technology will bring to bear many tools to teaching and learning. An example is virtual reality that can bring alive various concepts, creating an immersive environment in the classroom. With availability of cloud computing and storage, students will have access to their lessons and worksheets wherever they are. Teachers, too, will have to reinvent their roles. They will become catalysts for problem solving and for connecting students and the industry. In the process, learning will become highly interactive. At the university level, this will bring with it the germ of entrepreneurship. 9. Hospital at home. Much of what people have to go to the hospital for today will come to their homes at their convenience. For instance, portable versions of large scanning machines are being built by startups and medical technology companies. These new generation devices make sophisticated diagnostics available at home. Wearable devices that can monitor patients round the clock and upload data to the cloud securely to their electronic health records are already a reality. They will allow doctors to be alerted to a change in a patient's condition and help them decide on the severity of the illness. By 2030, the very nature of disease will be further disrupted by technology. So disrupted, in fact, that we might have a whole lot fewer diseases to manage. Hospitals will become centers of immediate diagnostics and treatment, and medical technology will have advanced to a stage where a single scan will tell doctors all that they can glean from the patient's condition at one go. Techniques such as biopsy, which involves sending a patient's tissue sample for tests and getting results before beginning treatment, will disappear. 10. Joys of shopping. Bengaluru-based Capillary Technologies is building AI tools to help sales staff in a shop get real-time feedback based on the interpretation of computer vision data. An early limited capability version is already in deployment, with some customers using it to make better recommendations. Another company, Manthan, has built an AI voice interface called Maya that the CEO of a retail chain can use on a smart speaker and ask questions like, "Hey, how many customers in store X in town why retain the red dress that they purchased for Christmas and why?" Businesses have such an unprecedented amount of data that they can make relevant and enticing recommendations to shoppers. 10 years from now, every vendor will have such knowledge about customers via machine learning technologies built into our homes, appliances, and smartphones. That means necessities such as groceries will get delivered and payment docked automatically without having to order them each time. Real shopping will increasingly involve only the discretionary items that you want to purchase, and browsing them will involve flicking through different makes on a holographic display. So that's it for today, folks. To stay ahead of the curve and never miss out on the latest breakthroughs, hit that subscribe button right now, and don't forget to share this video with other future enthusiasts. Together, we'll unlock the mysteries of the future. Thank you.